Today's question is the following. The reader asks, will my American will still be valid if my spouse and I pass away while living abroad? So this sounds like a reader who is currently living abroad or contemplating moving abroad, but they asked the question in the Wisconsin Estate Planning Forum. My answer is as follows. Yes, your American will be valid as long as you remain domiciled in the United States even while you pass away abroad. Now what's important to remember is you can only have one will at a time, and you should form the will in your state and country of domicile. Domicile is a complicated legal concept, but basically the way to think about it is, where do you think your home is? So let's say you're going to work abroad in the Netherlands for 2 years for your company, but you've lived in Wisconsin the rest of your life previous to that, and you plan to return to Wisconsin later. Well, if you have a Wisconsin will and something would happen to you while you're in the Netherlands, that will is still valid as long as it was validly executed under the laws of Wisconsin while you were here. That will govern any property in the state of Wisconsin. Now, if you have other property, as is often the case these days, such as financial accounts or insurance, those often pass non-probate according to the beneficiary designations you have on file with the company. Those will pass by matter of contract between you and the company. But the will would cover everything else that you own and anything that you forgot perhaps to fill out a beneficiary designation. If you passed away, in our example in the Netherlands, your company or your family could file that will back in Wisconsin in the county in which you were last domiciled and open a probate action to get your assets to your heirs. So I recommend that you and your wife do have a will, form it in your state and country of domicile before you leave to go abroad. Especially if you have real estate, because real estate is tied to a place. So if it's in Wisconsin, you should have a will to govern what will happen to it. In fact, if you own real estate, I would recommend a trust so you could avoid probate upon your death if anything should happen to you. But again, the short answer is a will validly executed in the state in which you reside before you go abroad will still be valid while you are abroad. Now, if you should acquire property in a country overseas, that again, you should check into the laws of that country, but generally it would fall under your will in your country of domicile. However, there may be a better way in that country to avoid probate on the property. So once again, a will validly formed here in the U.S. is still valid while you travel abroad. Have a safe trip and a great time wherever you're planning to live. Great question, and thank you for asking.